working on it, I think. Excellent. All right. We are in Faerún. We are in the country of Cormyr, and we are in the vast swamp. Can I give you an idea of where we are in the world? I've got another map. Here we are in, you guys should be able to see now. Here's the vast swamp again. Closer in, more detail. And James, did you get my last message? I assume you did, right? About Dreamer's Rock.
Sorry, I had to mute the meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, I got you.
All right, cool. So we're in Dreamer's Rock, which is kind of a small, out-of-the-way town. Well, would be small and out of the way if it weren't on the way of the Manticore, and everything that goes east to Daerlun and Symbia beyond, or coming from Symbia back into Cormyr, passes through Dreamer's Rock, and that's where we'll start the adventure.
Just a quick one before. Are these? Remember, the big list of spell macros. I take it they've not got Xanathar's guard to everything. They're not because shown there.
I don't think so. Well, I've pretty much switched over to using the character sheet and the compendium, using the spells from there.
Okay.
You're welcome to use the old one we used to use, but either way is fine. It's probably not updated though now.
No, it's not.
Okay. I thought I had my map ready. Let me find it here. Where's my town? Found it. All right. All right. The place is called Dreamer's Rock. And we are here.
Don't think the compendiums.
The compendium is off of the SRD, so it won't have most of the Warlock spells, unfortunately. That's the downside.
Yeah. No.
So you may be a little hampered starting out here, Ravel, but that's okay. Kind of fits.
Yeah.
Ravel, you've just come into town and you know what you're doing here. The rest of you are probably in the Old Boar Inn, which is here.
Are we drinking?
Yes, I would assume so. You guys can each... Let me get the rest of this set up here. Sorry, that's a little bumpy to start. Okay. Ravel, I'm just going to move you in there as well. We are at the Old Boar Inn, and Garen is your bartender. Let me go through the list here. Each of you are here for your own reasons. Most likely looking for money, looking for work. First up, Rowan Tallstag. She's a warrior from the frozen north with a specialty in hunting down monsters, I think. Rowan, why don't you tell us more about yourself or what you're doing in the inn?
I left my tribe to focus more on important things in my life, and I was going to town to meet some new fellows for a new adventure. And I
Fantastic.
decided to go into this tavern because, yeah, that's where people usually go when they get some like new damn it, words.
You pretty well covered it. Well said. Looking for a new adventure, looking for money.
Yes,
This
looking
may
for
be the
money
place.
for some offers.
Cool. What about Morgren Baldurk?
Well, I'm a pilgrim. I'm on a pilgrimage, and money is nothing without spirit. So I'm inside this tavern to find some spirits, if you know what I mean. So let me check the spirits on the shelf. Shall we, do you have something strong fit for a dwarf?
Garen smiles and nods with a twinkle in his eye and pulls out a rather large tankard from beneath the bar and fills it with beer. It's passable to your palate, but maybe not up to dwarven standards, but it'll do.
So may La Thunder bless you, but not so much.
And Maylil, what brings you to Dreamer's Rock? Who was playing Maylil? Let me check. That's right. Maylil is a person of few words.
I see.
Yeah, she's sitting in a corner at a corner table,
What do you mean?
possibly not drinking or eating.
Ersti, do you use push to talk? You might want to hold that button. Because if you've said something, we haven't heard it.
That's okay. Looks like he's
Oh,
typing.
she's a woman of action, I
Yes,
suppose.
and few words, and that's fine. That character was actually written that way. That's no problem. Like I said, she's actually a monk from the Temple of the Yellow Rose and has taken a vow of silence. So it kind of works. Don't worry about it. It works just fine. So Ravel, you have come into this. You walk into the tavern. How about a description?
Okay, so Ravel stands about 6 foot tall. He has long flowing dark hair. His eyes burn with a violet fire, and he wears a long purple knee-length leather trench coat with a hood. And in his hand he carries a quarter.
In his hand he carries a what?
A quarterstaff.
Quarterstaff, got it. All right, you've come in pretty much during happy hour. The scene is what you see there in the pictures. A lot of people moving around, a lot of action, voices, speaking loudly. So nobody really notices any of you standing out. Like I said, this is a highly traveled road, so you see all kinds come through here. So Ravel, what do you do?
I approach the bar, toss the barkeeper a silver coin and say, "A drink, my friend."
He gladly serves you house beer.
As I take the tankard from him, I whisper in his ear, I'm looking for a game of chance, you wouldn't happen to know of anyone who would hold some.
He kind of gives you a knowing look and gestures broadly at the room, and you can see several games of chance being played. Cards, dice, anything you could think of. There's quite a lot of gambling.
I stroll over to one of the tables playing cards and say, do you have a seat at your table for an unlucky fellow such as myself?
They say unlucky. Yeah, of course. Unlucky is always welcome here.
Ravel lounges in the chair, and back in the chair, throwing his leg over the arm of the chair, and takes a hand.
All right. Do you have a button for card proficiency to make a check?
I have got proficiency with it, but
Yeah, base it off of
Is it-
intelligence, I think, or dex if you're trying to cheat.
yeah, I'll go with dex. Sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand, sure.
I haven't. You need. I'm just going through my skills as we speak, so there's no proficiency added.
Yeah, we can add +2.
Oof.
So you're caught pretty quickly. You throw a card out, and the man next to you takes a dagger and stabs it through the card onto the table and fixes you with a cold stare. Pointing out that there are two of that card already on the table.
I lean forward across the table with my left hand under the table and ready an eldritch blast for any violence, and say, if I was you, I'd pick that dagger back up, son.
He wrestles the knife free and he says, "You're no longer welcome at our table." And the other guys fix you with cold stares as well, and they basically stop playing until you leave.
I slink off with my tail between my legs.
I'm gonna move to Garen and ask for 2 beers.
All right. He quickly serves them up.
And I'm gonna walk back to my table. I've paid him whatever he wanted.
Of course. Yeah, a few silver pieces would cover it. Okay. Let's see. There's a... Let's see. There's a guy making the rounds here in the tavern. Looks like this. And he's got a rolled up piece of parchment, and he's trying to find anyone who's willing to buy a treasure map from him. So he goes up to... Oh, you approach him, even better. Go ahead.
How goes it, little friend? And what would this map that I hear so much about be leading to?
He says, "This map, my friend, will lead you to all the greatest riches in the vast swamp. I suppose you've heard of the Tomb of Chonis. And you can each make a history check on that if you want." Ravel, obviously you have heard of it. It's been a local legend since always.
Yeah.
And the rest of you can just click.
-1 in intelligence. Typical, innit? You can't count on the dice for anything.
And so the rest of you on your character sheets, if you find the history skill, you can click that and roll and see what you know.
Okay, so we are hearing this conversation.
You guys are overhearing it, yeah. I would assume
Okay.
you've taken an interest in the treasure map, and we can see what each of you
I
know.
didn't. I'm neutral.
Yeah. Okay.
So history check. If
Well, you guys haven't heard of it, but Ravel certainly has. And Willie is this red-haired gnome. His name is Willie. He says, many fine riches await you if you can overcome the ancient evil.
I say, so says the rumor. So says the legend, but legends are known to be false. What guarantees do I have your map is true?
He said, let's see. He says, well, as far as guarantees go, I couldn't help notice you're a gambling man, so why not gamble on the greatest wealth of all, an ancient treasure guarded by what's probably dust and nothing else.
Ravel smiles and reaches into his coat pocket and produces a double-headed coin. On one side is Timora, the goddess of luck, and on the other is, I can never say it, Babisha, the goddess of bad luck.
I don't remember her name. Okay.
No, he says, we'll let the coin decide. Timora, I buy your map. Babeshka, you'll have to find another customer. So it's 1 for Timora, 2 for Babesh. I say, I smile and say, luck be damned. I always fancy a gamble. And I say, how much is it you ask for your map?
He says, I only need 5 gold pieces to continue on my journey. So that's what I will part with the map for.
Rand makes a show of rummaging in his pockets and says, 5 gold's a lot of money for a piece of paper with no guarantees. I'll offer you 2 golds and 5 silver.
All right, make your persuasion check. He looks kind of crestfallen and a little bit concerned. You can see he's running some figures in his head, and he says, that should be enough to complete my journey. Very well, I will part with my map for 2.5 gold pieces. And he holds out a hand.
And what about the evil you mentioned before?
He says, go ahead, Ravel.
I noticed, sorry, who spoke?
Yeah, he was asking about the evil, and Willie says, oh, that's, like I said, an ancient evil, probably just dust and rumors by now.
Evil
Who was
dust.
it that spoke?
I think that's Morgren that was speaking.
Yep.
Okay. I turn and look at Morgan for the first time and say, why, my friend, does the evil interest you more than the treasure?
Well, I'm here on a pilgrimage, you know, and La Thunder shines its lights everywhere, so I'm here to spread its words and for spirits. It seems spirits are not so well in this part, and it seems now I'm going to fight some evil dust and smoke, but here I am.
Ravel gives him an appraising look over, and you can see the cogs in his head turning, and says, well, if you're here to battle evil, I could always use an extra pair of hands on such expeditions. Would you be interested?
Well, that suits me fine. As long as the spirits are better in the place we're going. Because this beer was pretty awful.
Rand smiles and says, well, I'm afraid you'll have to put up with it for tonight. We'll set off in the morning. Find yourself some accommodation, and I'll meet you in the bar room for breakfast. And then he swaggers off to mingle with more of the...
Okay, fine, but no gambling. Remember that. No gambling. I'm not the one to gamble, you know. I'm a priest.
No one's a gambling man until they are. We'll make a gambler of you yet.
I can make some exception for the, you know, nubilate law, but gambling not. I'm strict to the law. No, it seems I'm a lawful neutral character. Or so it seems. So I don't care pretty much for politics and the like. I need only the spirits to be good. And here they are not. So I'm gonna move. Let's check those evil scents of yours.
Very well. Well, just be here in the morning, or I'll leave without you. For me, I've got a night of cards and debauchery ahead. Any wonder though. Try and find them.
Sure. All right, Rowan, you overheard all of that, so it seems that there is an adventure afoot, possible riches to be had, and you know that they're meeting first thing in the morning. Each of you can tell me what you're going to do overnight, and then we'll just do one roll, and then we'll keep moving. Because like I said before, I want to try to keep these adventures like 2 hours or 3 hours pretty quick, so we'll move along quickly. Ravel, I know you want to gamble the night away, so go ahead and do another sleight of hand if you're cheating, or just straight cards if you are trying to go legit.
Can I go deception for bluffing and cards and stuff?
Sure. Yeah, that'll work. Whichever skill you want to apply and whichever way you want to apply it.
Yeah.
All right,
That
you did
needs,
pretty good.
Proficiency added into it as well. So
Got it. Okay. Then you gained 7 gold pieces from your night of gambling. You came out on top. Well done.
No.
Morgren, what do you spend your evening doing?
What?
How do you pass your night before the next morning?
Praying to Latanda to get some fine beer.
All right, make a religion check.
Okay. Hope it's a cool one. Religion check is. Oh, Latanda shines on me.
It does. While you've rented a room for the night, and you feel uncomfortable on the straw bed, and you're kind of shifting back and forth, can't get comfortable, and then finally you realize why. Somebody left a flask underneath the bedding, and you pull that out, and it is fine spirits. So you sleep well.
Yeah. Well, you know, beer, alcohol doesn't solve problems, but you don't mind them.
Right.
So fine.
And Rowan, how do you spend your evening?
Since I already started, I'm continue to drink.
Fantastic. Give me a Constitution save. And the saves are above the skills, I think.
Yep. I'm gonna drink all night.
Oh yeah. Rowan has no trouble holding her booze, and wakes up first thing in the morning bright and shiny without any issues. So it is the next morning. The room is mostly cleared out because this being a traveler's destination, everybody's on their way somewhere. Most people have gotten up and left for the morning, and you guys are part of that breakfast crowd. You eat your food and then reconvene on the street outside. And Rowan, this would be your opportunity to kind of introduce yourself.
So, I've overheard yesterday that there is some treasure ahead. Do you mind if I join you for your adventure?
For the treasure, you mean?
Ravel puts
Yes,
on
for the
a
treasure indeed.
Ravel puts on a shocked face and goes, "Treasure? I know no treasure. Me and my friend here are going to fight a great evil. Isn't that right, Garen? Not Garen. That's the barman.
Morgan.
What is
Well,
it?
yes.
Morgan?
Yeah. And by the way, Lathander sent me a sign yesterday in the late night. I was thinking about the nature of life and death and such deep, things. And then Lathander sent me a sweet sign from the skies, and so I shall battle evil for you.
Well,
It was
yes,
a tasty sign.
getting rid of that greater evil
Yeah.
is one thing, but it's not the only thing, right? There will be a reward for the efforts.
Well, surely, knowing that you've defeated a great evil is reward in itself.
Yeah, your soul will be cleansed.
That is true, but we might find more than the greater evil.
The
Well, I'm
greatest
sure.
evil, you mean?
I'm gonna tell him that there's no need to fear. I'm the strongest person in town.
Oh, if you say that.
Gonna make an athletic check to show my strengths.
Of course. Rowan stands.
Oh my god.
Rowan stands 6'3",
Nice player.
pretty lean, but I don't know. You've seen some half-orcs walking through with big bulging muscles, so it's hard to validate that claim.
Okay. But still, I think I'm of good company on your journey.
Well, another meat shield, companion, can always come in handy, I've found. Why not? The more the merrier.
That's off my list. I'm gonna move to Garen again and order another beer.
Oh, that's my friend.
Garen happily sells you another beer.
Thanks, Garen. I pass him a silver.
He nods and smiles. Let's see. I'm gonna grab you guys. I'm gonna move you outside again onto the street. And unless there is something else that you guys need to do in town, or are you ready to embark, take off on your adventure?
Maybe melee is working now? Bestie?
Maylil will silently follow behind the group. You guys aren't sure who she is or why, but she seems to be tagging along without saying much, so that's okay.
Not so much, but kinda creepy, but okay.
Right. All right. I'm gonna move you guys back out to Cormyr, the big map, or the medium-sized map, I should say. And we are here at Dreamer's Rock. And your map, Ravel, seems to say more or less go northeast until just at the edge of the swamp. You're going to cross a small stream, and there should be a cave and a rock face, and that's what you're searching for just northeast of town here, about 10 miles out.
As we draw closer to the swamp, Ravel becomes a bit twitchy, and pulls the hood of his coat up over his face, over his head, shadow. Comes checking his barrel back. Just check.
Cool. You broke up a little on that, I think, but basically, guys, he pulled his hood up over his head to kind of mask his face a little bit. All right. What do you guys have? I'm going to ask each of you what you're doing to try and locate the Tomb of Chonis.
Okay,
Even with the
there
map.
is a river to be crossed.
That's true. And in fact, I'm just going to go ahead and move
Well,
you guys
I
there.
know the area. I'm sure I know.
Oh, that's true. That's true. You have Wanderer. Okay, let me... Once again, I have to find my
can
map.
you find some routes to avoid water. I'm not fine with water.
I'm going to move you guys again. And basically where we're going to be is you have found the stream that you were expecting. With some help from Rowan, she's wandered around a little bit and remembers the stream and takes you guys to it. So that's where we will zoom in on the action right here. Give me a second, I'll turn the lights on. There we go.
Is it daylight?
It is daylight, yeah, you guys are daytime. I just turned the lights up, so you should be able to see fine now. Maylil, for some reason, is still tagging along. It's not a problem. And you guys come to a Babbling Brook here. It does seem to have a little bit of a current and is about 15 feet wide. So how would you like to navigate this? You're headed west right now.
Okay, no way I'm crossing this.
I have 50 feet of hemp and rope. I mean, we could tie up each other, walk through. It's lovely.
No. Dwarves are meant for what? Sorry, but
I could try and throw you over.
well, that would be worst. I see some trees down here. Maybe we could try and make some,
An improvised bridge.
let's say a bridge. That would be best.
I look at the logs and say, I don't know, they look awful heavy. If you two want to try and wrestle one of those across the river, be my guest.
Well, you were the one with the ropes, so we shall try to pull it together. And we have the strongest warrior in town by our side. So that's one good time to show us your strength, my child. I shall bless you in the name of Lathander. You know, I'm the priest here. May Lathander give you strength. You'll need it.
All right, Rowan, if you would like to, you can make an athletics check to try and wrestle a log into position over the stream.
Okay, can I give some kind of a advantage?
Yes, if you are aiding, you can also make an athletics check, and if you get a 10 or higher, then you give Rowan advantage.
Okay.
He doesn't need to.
Rowan picks up that log, throws it, but doesn't throw it, she hoists it onto a shoulder, and very easily lays it across the stream. Right, there's the log. And like so.
Do you need another log for the bridge?
For the last tidy part, you know.
To make it more secure. Okay, then
Yeah,
I'm
can be.
gonna try and grab another log.
Okay, another athletics check.
Oh.
Yeah.
This one was a little bit more difficult, but you think you've got a pretty sturdy bridge going here.
Yeah, with the help.
Yeah, there you go. No
Dwarf.
problem. And you guys can very easily cross those logs now.
Well, where is it? Let me see. Okay. Phew.
Okay. And what you guys are seeing there, that's my monsters are set up with like an old system. They're not, they don't have their own character sheets. So I've implemented a whole bunch of monsters and abilities and stuff. So what I'm doing there is just rolling a stealth check, which has failed. You guys can hear through the trees to your northwest, kind of this direction. Oh, hold on, wrong layer. There we go. This direction, you can hear two voices talking in conversational tones.
And what about the monk?
Oh, the monk very
He's
easily
behind.
follows along behind and quickly crosses the logs behind you guys without an issue. Still has not said a word. That's okay.
Okay.
I would try and be stealthy and get a little bit closer to the bandits.
Can I use detect evil and good as a ritual?
As a what?
There's one.
Ah. Okay. Now that will use one of your spell slots. Is that okay with you?
No, I shall use it as a ritual if I can.
Oh, I misunderstood. As a ritual, of course. That one is not a ritual spell, unfortunately. It will say, where it says Divination 1 in parentheses, it will say ritual. So that one cannot be cast as a ritual, no.
Oh.
I don't think. Let me look again.
Yeah,
Be
I
sure
see
before I
a
tell you wrong.
ritual. So the...
Also, I'm not sure if this is really helpful against bandits.
Oh, you never know.
Whoops. Okay, let me pull up my spell list, because I don't want to tell you wrong. You may be able to cast that as a ritual. So let me check on Detect Evil and Good. No, Detect Magic is a ritual, but Detect Evil and Good is not a ritual.
Oh, okay, fine.
Unfortunately. Okay. Alright.
Well then, I'm trying to get.
Okay, and yeah, I can see ritual written. So
Just edit it.
Right. No, that won't work.
I'm trying to get closer and be as stealthy as possible.
Yes, you can move freely as you'd like to, and you can roll stealth to see how close you get without being detected. Oh, you rolled quite well. So you guys can go ahead and move forward, and you can see as you get closer, two men up against kind of a rock wall, and they seem to be exploring it. They're looking for something up there. And their backs are turned to you. They have not noticed your approach because you guys are being very stealthy.
Is it on the map?
Yeah,
I
they
see
are.
only two people, right?
That's correct. You got two men up there. You got this guy. I'm just going to flash their pictures up for you. And you've got this guy. And Ravel, you can tell that guy with the tattoos on his shoulder there, that is a member of the Derasi clan. And Rowan, you probably couldn't get any closer without being detected, so be careful if you want to get any closer.
Does the spacebar not work?
No, they switched it to right click instead of spacebar.
Okay, from this distance, do I recognise anything other than his clan tattoos? Do I recognise him?
No, you don't know who that is. So you know that he's one of the, like, you've seen him in the background when there have been meetings between the groups, but you don't know his name. You don't know him personally.
I whisper to Ravel, is this one of the greater evils?
It's the greatest. How about them?
So should we surprise attack them?
Well, no, let's not be rash. We can always talk this out.
Do you recognize any one of these people?
No, but I don't kill just for not recognizing people, you know.
And Ravel?
I point to the one with the tattoos and say, I know that man. Those tattoos depict him as as one of the cult of Cthulhu. Surely your god would want him smited. And I make.
I think that needs a deception check or what?
You are adequately suspicious.
Yeah. Shall I try some check?
Morgren, could you give me a stealth check to approach, and then, yeah, give me an insight check. Yeah, you're pretty sure Ravel is not telling you the whole truth here, but I also need a stealth check to see if the two individuals up there have noticed you yet.
Okay.
Do you want new stealth?
No, you guys are good to approach to where you are right now. Good enough. Okay.
Phew.
So you guys are safe to have a short conversation here in the bushes, deciding what to do.
I say, we should at least hear what they want. You two stay here. I'll see if I can get closer. And stealth.
Okay. All right, you're close enough now. You can all hear their conversation. One is saying to the other, "It's got to be here somewhere," and the other says, "Yeah, well then why haven't you found it yet?"
I can see Ravel's roll.
No, he's reusing the old system where his rolls are rolled to me, where me and him can see them. Like I said, we had set things up way before there was a compendium, way before there was built-in character sheets, so he's still using our old setup from years back. And they are kind of, it seems they're running their hands over the rock wall. This one is looking for who knows what, and this one kind of wanders up here and is poking what has he got? Poking a scimitar into a bush for some reason.
So will they notice me if I get any closer?
Yes, you can roll stealth to move closer if you'd like. And the way that works is if you move half your speed, you make a normal stealth check, but if you move your full speed, you make that check with disadvantage.
Well, then I guess I'm moving half speed.
Okay.
Oh my god.
You step on a twig, and a loud crack echoes throughout the forest. Both of the men turn and look, and pull their weapons from their belts. And they shout, "Who goes there?" And
I'm
they
being
both
silent. I'm
they
not
b-
trying to hide
Okay.
behind the rocks.
He steps forward, and you see that he stows his scimitar as this man walks forward. This one pulls out a light crossbow and begins to load it, and this one points with the scimitar and says, "You in the bushes, step forward."
I'm stepping forward.
At the sight of you, they both grin, and they say, "Ah, well, it seems you've come to the wrong place at the wrong time, friend." "Oh, there's two of them. This
Can I
one,
use the distraction?
Can I talk you about Lathander, you know, the god of light?
Can I
they look,
use the distraction to try and sneak around them?
yeah, make your stealth checks as normal, Ravel, as you move around. The guy in front says to you, Morgren, "Pah, I've got no time for gods or their business. Business at hand is gold. Hand yours over now, and you'll get to leave with your lives."
Well, that would be a sin, my child. Lathander punishes those sinners.
Punish, huh? Well, I'm going to tell you something. You're going to learn something about righteous wrath today. And he steps forward with his sword, menacing you. He says, "Gold, now."
I'm drawing my weapon. Say,
Yeah,
you
I'm
don't
going-
threaten my priest.
All right, everybody can roll initiative.
Yeah.
That went out pretty well.
Ah, good one. And then I will add my turn counter. All right. Rowan, the man has stepped forward, menacing you with his sword. What do you do?
I'm gonna rage. Use my bonus action to rage. And I overhead swing my greatsword at him. At the one in front of me.
Okay, and there's one more ability that you have called Reckless. If you do that, you have advantage on your attack roll, but you grant advantage to all attacks for the next round. Do you want to use that?
Yes. I'm gonna
All
also
in.
use reckless attack.
Fantastic.
All in. And check my rage. 18
Wow.
to hit,
Very nice.
right?
Okay, so that little token means you grant advantage, and where is it? This little button means you add 2 to your damage rolls. 13 damage, yeah, you bring the sword down on top of his head, splitting his skull open. Blood splatters everywhere, and he drops to the ground and does not get back up.
Okay. And you want that initiative roll at the end, right?
Correct, thank you. Okay, cool. And Maylil, I'm going to go ahead and add you. I see you've rolled, so we're going to throw you in. And then, hold on. There we go. Maylil, I'll see if you're able to hear. You can take a turn and make your attacks if you'd like. The silent monk seems to be approaching.
Now is the time for action.
And if you did want to attack, just move your token. Let's see, you have 40 feet of movement as a monk. You could just walk up to this guy and then do one unarmed attack, or 3 if you want to spend a key point. But it is possible that Osti still can't hear me, so yeah, he's still trying. Morgren, you can go ahead and go as well, because you're next in line.
Ah, okay. So I shall show him La Thunder's light with a sacred flame.
A DC 13 dexterity save, and this is where it's going to look rough, but you're going to see a dexterity roll of 3. He fails that. You see him double over in pain. He is being soul racked. He's kind of gritting his teeth and grimacing as his body comes under assault from radiant damage.
And that's the Thunder's light. Now I shall use my bonus action to cast Shield of Faith on Rowan. Here it is.
Awesome. Okay, and that one costs you 1 of your spell slots and adds a +2 AC, which is that token. And then
that's my initiative.
Fantastic. Great. And I've deducted that spell. Great. And that lasts up to 10 minutes. So let me do... That's 60 rounds, right? I think that's 60 rounds. Alright. Then... I think Maylel's still having some trouble. So this guy had his crossbow up and aimed. He's going to go ahead and take a shot at Rowan, who grants advantage, but does have +2 AC.
Oh, yeah.
That will miss entirely. Oh no, advantage.
No, it
would have
hit.
You have the +2 AC though, so it misses from the Shield of Faith.
Oh,
The bolt fires true, and you wince in pain, ready to be taking a crossbow bolt to the chest, but at the last moment it goes plink against some kind of a magical force field around you, and whistles off harmlessly. The bandit says, "Oh shit," and runs away. Or starts to. And he will roll initiative. And Ravel, finally.
Oh.
Or Ravel, however you want to say it.
From his cover behind the rock, he'll unleash it. Help.
Right, and I think you just click the beam to make that work. Drizzt set that up for us.
Yeah. I thought you just clicked beam.
Is it not working? It might not. Yeah, I don't think it will. I don't have that secondary macro set up.
Alright, I'll just let him go now.
You just what?
I'll just allow him to run off.
Okay.
And then I'll just stay hidden.
Okay. Then we are already on round 2. Maylil, Osti, are you able to... Oh wait, I didn't declare. There we go. Okay. Osti is typing.
Initiative.
I'll give him just a second. He may want to chase that guy down.
I hope.
He's still having trouble hearing. Okay. So Maylil continues to follow along. Chase that guy. Okay, Morgan, your turn. What do you do?
I shall move to my full speed. That's not too much.
25 for a dwarf.
It's something.
Yep.
And I shall try another sacred flame to shine some Lathander's light.
Dexterity save. He makes a save. As he's running forward, he quickly ducks underneath a tree branch, and your sacred flame passes harmlessly through the tree and does not hit him.
Bastard.
Okay. So that's
Okay, I'm okay. That's my new initiative.
excellent. Oh, good. Is it Ravel or is it Ravel? James.
Ravel.
Ravel, what do you do? Are you just going to stay hidden?
Yeah, I'm just hide it out. I don't want to try them.
All right. The bandit is going to continue to run, dodging between the trees, and he is doing a double move, headed back for the stream. He does not want to die today. And a new initiative for him. Rowan, what do you do?
I'm charging after him. I'm not gonna let him escape. He's one of the greater evils.
That's a girl after my heart.
I'm using my bonus action to extend my movement.
Unfortunately, you can't. A bonus action,
Okay.
very specific uses for bonus actions. A house roll
dash.
that you can put shields on. Dash is it's your action. So if you want to
Dash
move,
is an action, not a bonus action.
that's correct. Yeah. Makes it kind of
Then-
tricky to chase him down.
Wait, I was here,
I
right?
rolled it, it's a bonus.
For monks, it's a bonus action, yes. So you can move.
Then, yeah.
Okay. I was going to say you can move adjacent to him so that he provokes an attack of opportunity from you when he moves next, if you want to do it that way. Or you can throw an axe or something.
Yes, that's what I wanted to do. I'm gonna
Great.
throw my hand axes.
All right.
I still have advantage, right?
Unfortunately, that ends at the start of your turn, the reckless thing, and it only counts for melee attacks.
Oh, okay.
So for now,
I guess that didn't hit.
yeah, you loosen the hand axe from your belt and throw it. It whistles through the trees. You can hear it hitting branches, but it does not hit him.
Let me quickly add that as a resource. And it's my turn.
All right. Round 4. Actually, there we go. And the bandit is first. He's actually going to quickly reload his crossbow and take another shot. Rowan, he's firing at your leg to try and slow you down. Oh, that one hits.
Oh my god, he hits.
Thunk. And continues dashing through the trees with only a single move this time. So Rowan, what you'll do is
taking 3 or 2 damage. Do you
2. It's round down. Yep.
Round down. Okay.
Yep. Very good. And we'll roll new initiative. And Maylil, I think, is still having problems. Ravel, anything new?
As everyone goes charging up through I would maybe investigate the area.
Okay. So you're checking out. Go ahead and make an investigate roll while Morgren.
Can I take perception? Search the area?
Perception? Yeah, perception's fine too. Okay. And Morgren, go ahead. And then we'll circle back to Ravel.
Well, I shall try again, Lathander's light.
Good old standby.
may shine upon you.
Very good. All right, he fails the save. You can see he doubles over in pain again, screaming in agony as Lathander's light racks his soul.
Okay, I'm done.
Great.
Here's
Okay.
one.
And Rowan, finally.
I'm still gonna chase after him. Use my movement to move here. And throw my other hand axe.
You've got a clear shot. This one should do it. Yep, his back is to
Yes.
you, and the hand axe buries itself right between his shoulder blades. He pitches forward into the dirt and does not get back up. All right, you guys are breathing heavily, looking around for any further threats, and you see none. However, we still have Shield of Faith on the clock. I'm not going to worry about round by round, but we're just going to know that we'll see how long this takes. So I'm just going to clear the initiative for now, but Shield of Faith is still on. Ravel, it doesn't take you much time at all looking in the bushes there. This whole forest section is, sorry, let me ping you guys right here. Those branches are not growing. They were cut and placed there to hide something. You guys can move freely now. You're outside of combat.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm moving here
I-
to pick up
I
my
wanted to
hand
do-
axe,
Sure.
and here to pick up the other one.
Of course.
While I await their return, I search.
All right.
Oh yes, do as you want. You're welcome.
Yeah, I'm searching the other bandage.
Very good. Ravel, you find 16 silver pieces on your bandit. Rowan, you find 13 silver pieces on yours.
That's good for some more beer.
Yes.
Yes. So, Ravel, that's some fine adventure you got there. There was some adventure I didn't see behind that rock. Maybe. I shall get closer.
All right, you guys approach Ravel, and he seems to be regarding this pile of branches piled up against a rock face, it would seem.
I'm asking him if he found something interesting.
Ravel reaches out and pulls away the branches to reveal.
You pull away the branches to reveal the entrance of a cave. It's quite
Is
dark.
Something interesting.
Ravel and Morgren, you guys can see into the cave using your dark vision. Rowan, it's quite dark in there.
Yeah, I've got devils.
Oh, do you? Okay.
What is my vision range? 5 feet? 10 feet?
Your vision range outside is fine. The issue is when you go underground or any place that doesn't have a light source, you are limited in what you can see. All you'll need to do is like pull out a torch or a lantern if you have one, and I can set you up with light.
Am I completely blind? Because if I can see 5 to 10 feet, I'm not gonna light a torch because I'm using a two-handed weapon.
Yeah, it is tricky. Let me see what you have. Yeah, a torch will be problematic for you because you've got a two-handed weapon. But we can say that you have a lantern just for ease. And I'm going to set you up with some light. And we're going to say that it's a hooded lantern, so you can limit how much the light extends. How many feet did you say you want? About 10 feet?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
fine for me.
Okay.
Is there someone with a light cantrip? That should do.
I don't think there is, and what I'm doing right now is turning off the lights. You guys will be able to see a little, and you can see Rowan's light, and you can see the cave continues. If you move into position, you will see. And let me... The reason YouTube has a character here is because I run the camera through that on my other screen, so you're not seeing the DM side of things. It's just from the view of the player. So you're going to see this thing following you around. That's your camera, like a movie.
Okay, I turn back and say, you can come now, Mark. You've been of help, just like Ravel.
Melo quickly approaches and continues to follow silently. Rowan, your rage, I think, does end after a short time, though, just so you know.
Yeah, I bet the minute is still over after taking up my
Yeah.
hand axes and...
So we'll say one of your rages is spent. That's actually your green bubble. If you want to -1 off of that, so you've used one of your
I
rages.
have that in my... I have that tracked in my resources.
Okay.
But
however you want to track that is fine with me.
Wait, what is the other form?
The blue is your hit die, and the red, of course, is your hit points.
Ah, okay.
Okay, can I try to understand the craft of this place? Who made it with a history check, maybe?
Yes, you can. Dwarves have an ability called stone cunning, and that it gives you advantage, I think. Oh, a +2. Okay, on your history. You can tell that this is definitely not dwarven make, and that's about all you can tell about it. You see ahead of you that Ravel is sneaking. He is in stealth mode. So if you guys want to also be in stealth mode, just make your stealth checks as you move. Otherwise, I assume you're just moving at a cautious but normal pace. You can see as you enter, there is a branch in the passageways. One goes left, one goes right, and a staircase continues up into a main chamber. The walls are hewn. Looks like somebody actually made this. It's not natural. It's hard to tell who made it, according to Morgren. And you can see that several of the chambers have cave-ins, such as the one Ravel just walked into. The ground is actively caving in portions of this dungeon.
Tread lightly. We don't. Is that another cave in at the bottom there?
Yep, and Ravel, what you see there is a door that's been dislodged from its hinges, and it's laying on the staircase flat. And beyond that is a chamber with a pretty bad cave-in as well.
Beyond that, what? Sorry, you broke
up. You see that the chamber beyond the door is caved in.
I'm just like trying to be Ravel's shadow. Because I've not that great vision.
Ravel, you see another chamber. Like these look like they were kind of antechambers for whatever this complex once was, and it is also caved in from the back. Several blocks from the wall have spilled out into the room, covering whatever's purpose it originally was.
Oh, your mom.
Yeah, she's tagging along still, just in case. I'm assuming if nothing else, Osti can see what's going on the board.
Yes.
You've got a shallow staircase leading. Okay, stop right there, everybody. Finish that move. Okay, here's what happens. Two things happen very quickly. Ravel, you see a small staircase leading down right here, and then another staircase leading up right here. They're very shallow, maybe 2 or 3 feet. Here you can see a pretty bad cave-in and an actual entrance to a natural cave here that has been broken in or out, hard to tell. You hear a loud click from the north, and an arrow fires out down that corridor and narrowly misses Ravel. It came from this direction, down the hall.
What did I miss? Sorry.
Huh? What was that? No. Then the next thing that happens, out of the rubble, disturbed by the noise and Ravel's approach, a large group of rats comes scurrying out of the rubble, surrounding Ravel's feet and proceeding to bite him. So, where is it? There it is. Everybody can roll initiative. They haven't come out to bite yet. This is the initiative. You guys were on guard, so there's no surprise around here. All right. I'm going to say Shield of Faith is about halfway. So we're going to give that about 30 turns still on it. And then I need a turn counter. And descending. Shield of Faith, of course. Ravel, you were the fastest. You've been fired upon and rats are at your feet. What do you do?
I splash about while
All right. Ravel slams the butt end of his staff down many times, but does not manage to squish any of the rats.
I actually have Pole Arm Master, so I get.
Oh, does that let you attack twice?
Yeah, it gives you.
It provokes an
bonus
attack of
action.
opportunity
So
when an
1, 2,
enemy
4.
comes within 5 feet, right?
Oh, okay. It's been a while since I played that, or saw that. Yeah. Attack with only quarterstaff. Bonus action to make a melee attack with the opposite end. Okay, and it's a D4. And then they provoke when they enter your reach. Cool. All right, that hits. You managed to squish 2 of the rats.
Back up with the step.
Okay. Okay. Anything else? Morgren, what do you do?
Okay. So if I move, the terrain in which the others are is to be considered difficult. Because I'd like to reach this point. I don't know if I...
You can freely do that, yes. There is no difficult terrain between you and there, and your allies will let you pass.
Okay. So I shall move here and try a melee attack.
Alright, you bring the hammer down, and you manage to squish 4 of the rats. However, you hear that click from the north again. Another arrow arcs down the hallway and makes a loud metallic clang as it bounces off your shield.
Okay. Okay. I'm down.
Good, Rowan.
I'll move forward. Forward 10 feet. It's a little bit problematic because I can't really see anything.
You can move through your friends if you want to, and go like here, or actually enter the room. I know you can't
So
see very well either.
That's the max of my movement.
Okay.
Is it possible to move here? Am I in a
Yes.
unoccupied space? Okay. I
Yes.
assume the rats are here?
No, the rats are actually under you.
Oh, here.
But you can enter their space. They're right here. But you can stand on their space because it's just a swarm of rats.
Oh yeah, then I'm just staying here.
There. Okay.
I guess that looks occupied, that space.
A lot of rubble. Yeah, that would be difficult terrain.
And I'm gonna make an attack on my greatsword. I'm kind of like trying to not hit it with a sharp side rather than the flat side to like squash them.
Okay. Very good.
The subtract the range.
Yeah.
That's not included.
You managed to squish 5 rats.
And that's it from my subtract.
Roll an initiative if you're done. And then, oh wow, nice. And the rats, basically the rats came scurrying out. They were blinded by Rowan's light from her lantern and hesitated. You guys squished a bunch of them, but now here they come scurrying forward. They have to be in the space to attack someone, so I'm going to kind of do a staggered thing like so. And Rowan, you dealt the most damage, so they're coming after you. And here they come, bites. They scurry up your legs, and you are able to dance, jig, and yeah, none of them manage to bite in. They're just scurrying around in a panic. Reroll initiative for rats. Very low. Shield of Faith got decremented 1, and we're ready for Rowan. Again.
Yeah, I'm doing the same thing again.
Okay. Squish. Squished 6 rats, and there are only a handful of rats left.
And that's my turn.
Ravel.
Okay, I can't remember the rules for moving through someone's space.
Just do it freely. That's been the same for everyone else. They're not difficult terrain and they don't block you. Alright.
What is that I see down there?
Oh, yeah, you've got the long vision, don't you? That's right.
Yeah, I get
Yeah, you can see all the way down there. What you see at the end of that hallway is... I don't think I can do it the way I want to do it. Basically, there's a stone pedestal with a crossbow constructed into it, like built on top of it. It's kind of like a crossbow turret at the far end of that hallway.
Okay. Is it spent? Can I see whether it's spent?
Yeah, it does not seem to be spent. You're not sure why it didn't fire at you when you walked past this time.
Oh, I'll do blast. What? Is it?
I can barely hear you.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Does it has. I was just saying it's not a creature for the purposes of targeting it, is it?
No, it's not a creature. The big downside of Eldritch Blast is it can't hit inanimate objects.
Or look back. And rat.
All right. Ravel steps forward and begins squishing more rats. You got one of them there. And going to bring the butt in around and got one more.
Something's wrong with these macros, man.
Your mic's breaking up pretty bad, but the problem is... Here, I'll fix it. I see the problem. Alright, I fixed it. It should roll correctly now. Go ahead and click it one time and let's make sure. Because your modifier is, yeah, it's 3. So that should have been 6 and 4 damage, which would have been 3 and 2. Another handful.
Yep.
There is one rat left. Sorry, we had to get Ravel's macros working correctly there. So now you've got full credit for your damage. You squished several rats, only one remains.
Hello?
There, I hear you. Do you hear me?
No, you're in and out. Hang on, let me leave the chat.
Can the rest of you hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Clear and fine.
All right. Morgren, go ahead while Ravel gets his thing set up.
Okay. So, the last one will be mine.
Indeed.
It will be.
Drops the hammer and the last rat wiggles and squeaks. Its little feet are in the air and it dies.
Oh, the infidel rats.
Okay. And what I'm going to do
Oh,
now
okay.
is no further threats present themselves. I'm ending the initiative order. You guys are out of combat and can move freely. I'll tell you the next time a threat appears.
Okay. So, what can I understand about the trap I'm onto?
Make an investigate check. All right. You could tell, Morgren, when you step down with your stone cunning ability that this 5-foot square that you're in, this one, clicked slightly. It depressed slightly when you stepped on it, and that seems to be triggering the trap because while you stand on it, it remains depressed, and
Okay.
it will not fire at other people because it's currently like in trigger mode by you standing on it.
Yeah. Can I see a rock around to put it on the, on the plaque,
Yes.
so to keep it pressed?
Yes, you have several, the walls are built out of large blocks, and in places they're falling in, so it's very easy to find a large block to lay down.
Yeah, so I pick up some rocks and
While he's picking up the rock, the barbarian is not the brightest and steps on the thing again.
I'm not a barbarian.
But I am.
I'm blessed by La Thunder.
And yep, so the plate remains pressed down. After you step off, Morgren, everybody is free to walk across the plate. There was a moment of alarm as Rowan steps on it, and nothing else happens, so it's okay.
Okay. Hmm. Can we go now?
Yes, you can move freely.
Okay. So,
I
who goes
I asked
first?
the dwarf. I asked the dwarf what he can tell me about the cave.
We barely heard you, James. I think you said you wanted Morgren to say what he could tell you about the cave.
Yeah, I asked Morgan if he what he knows of the caves.
Well, I know a little. It wasn't made by dwarves because it's ugly, so we didn't make it. It's kind of small and dark and it's full of rats. That's what I know so far.
I was hoping for a
And
little
no
more
sign of
insight.
evil creatures.
I was hoping for an insight considering your heritage. But
Can't hear you well.
Yeah, I didn't catch that either.
I
Maybe he's.
say,
Oh, go ahead.
I was expecting a little more insight from one of your race, but I guess I'll have to find out for myself. Step out.
Well, that's racist from you. You know, we dwarves don't know always anything about any rocks you can find on the ground. You know, we do other things. No, I'm
Rowan steps
saying.
forward. Hold on, Rowan. And this space right here, another arrow fires out from the north.
Oh.
Thunk, and actually hits you for 5 piercing
Hits me.
damage.
Yep. I'm gonna yell at the dwarf. Bring another rock.
Oh, that I can do. So I pick up a rock, and being a wolf, I shall pick the best one.
Of course.
Yeah. And here you are.
All right, he sets that down in that space, or in that section, and it remains pressed down. It is now safe to cross.
Yeah, I venture a little.
All right, Rowan right there again. Another arrow. Zing, right past you. It whistles right over your shield, or your shoulder, Morgren, but it misses both of you.
Oh,
Morgan,
what about the
I'm
other
sure
ones?
you know what to do.
Ah, yeah. Because I'm the dwarf, I'm the one who picked the rock. Yeah, fine.
Y- Because I can't move and get one.
Yeah.
Staying here and let it be triggered.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
So, can I find a rock near my position?
Yeah, there are plenty of sections of wall that are loose, and you can pull another block out and set it in that space.
Okay.
Do I see anything as I move up the tunnel?
You can make a perception check. Ravel. Ravel, you're pretty sure, you're not positive, but you're pretty sure you've seen movement up on the ceiling somewhere around here.
I crouch low.
Do you have the rock ready?
The rock is in place, Rowan. You can keep moving.
Okay.
Perfect. All right, Ravel, hold on there. It did not have advantage because you were somewhat aware of it, so let's see what happens. Okay. Ravel, this thing has fallen out of the ceiling and landed on your head like an umbrella and snapped closed. You can't speak or see as this thing, it's a little hooked. Oh, I don't have a good picture. Let me see if I have a better picture. Give me 1 second here. I'll move him here, move you there. I think I have a good picture of him. I do.
Hello.
Those little hooked tentacles tie themselves together around Ravel's neck, and his face is now covered, and he can't speak or see.
Can you hear?
Not well.
Oh.
And then
Or
let's go ahead and...
Did it make any noise? Are we aware of anything?
I'll make one more check and see. No, it was very quiet, very silent. And you guys can go ahead and give me initiatives, since part of the party is in a combat. All right, Rowan, you are the fastest. Nothing's really changed for you. You haven't heard anything new, so continue as you were with your, but within the confines of a combat turn, you know?
Yeah.
All right, last, well, I shouldn't say last. One more step. It was actually this step. Yet another arrow.
The stairs. Yeah.
That's the stairs, yep. And another miss. The arrow whistles past you one more time.
And I'm using my action to talk to Morgren. I guess we need another stone here.
Oh, I shall fetch it right away.
All right.
As he lays down the stone, I'll continue my movement forward.
Sure.
That's 15 feet. That's 20.
You can see quite clearly now it's a stone pedestal with a crossbow attached to it. There seems to be a purple gem set in the center of the pedestal that glows slightly each time it fires.
I'm gonna smash that thing.
All right, throw an attack roll. You did so. It is now a pile of stone and wood rubble.
Now my anger has relieved.
Well done. Oh wait, let me just move those aside, rubble.
And that's my turn.
Okay. Ravel.
Okay, so you said I couldn't speak, yep, so I can't cast spells.
It's kind of muffled speaking. I would say you can speak for spellcasting, but communication is difficult. It's like, you know what I mean?
Yep. Okay. Cast Hex. I can then make attack check.
You're breaking up a little bit. What was that?
I said I cast Hex upon it and try and basically hit myself in the head from my head with my staff.
Okay.
I can't see Token.
Oh, here. There you go. Being careful not to whack yourself in the head, you have missed.
Can I move while it's on me?
Yes.
Stumble blind.
One of the concerns is that although I let you cast, utter the words of magic for speech, you cannot breathe, so that's another concern.
Okay. But I can move, yeah?
Yeah, go ahead and move it. It just moves with you. And and I'll keep it right here so you can see it. All right. Very good. And Morgren, you went and got a rock. What else do you want to do with your turn?
Okay, I shall collect another rock just in case, and then move here. Here and here.
Okay.
Okay.
And you can see ahead of you, his back is to you, is Ravel, but he seems to have like an umbrella attached to his head, and he's stumbling about blindly.
I can't actually see.
Oh, that's my mistake. You're right. I was getting ahead of myself. You caught a glimpse of him as he turned the corner here.
Ah, okay. There's a strange habit hiding behind rocks. I can tell that.
Anything else you want to do, Morgren?
I shall shout to row 1 to call her, and then again my new initiative.
The shout came from this direction, Rowan.
Aye.
Okay. Your new friend, Ravel will continue to constrict. You can feel it tightening around your throat, very hard. And that's all it can do with its turn. Stealth doesn't matter. He will roll initiative. And then that's the end of round 1. Ravel, you're the fastest.
I need to make a con save. I need to make
Oh.
a con save.
Yes, you do. To maintain concentration on curse.
Yeah. Well, it's hex. I've got a
Hex.
different thing that's.
Put that on him for the hex. Never mind, you lost concentration. Being unable to breathe has broken your concentration on your spell.
We'll do that.
Okay, it's your turn. What do you do?
I take 2 swipes at it.
That will hit. One good whack. That will hit. All right. 2 good cracks at it. Will be funny when you round the corner, Morgren. You may see Ravel whacking himself in the head with a stick.
That's weird.
Anything else you want to do, Ravel? You want to move?
No, I'm gonna try and conserve my breath. Because I don't know their approach to it. What?
Yeah,
Perception check, see whether I can hear them.
sure. Yeah, you heard them moving their stones and stuff further up the passage, so you figure they probably have overtaken you on the route you were on. So staying still maybe makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll that's it.
Okay. And for the telling moment, it constricts again. This time it's unable to get a good hold. It's being beaten, of course, so loosens its grip, does not hit that turn. Let's do an initiative. And Morgren, go ahead. You can hear the sound
Okay.
of like a wet, dull thwack ahead of you down the corridor.
Okay, I call again row 1, telling, hey, come, Rebel is hit him himself with a stick. And then I move forward to try and understand something. Okay, now can I see the creature?
Yes, you see it's engulfed his head. It looks something like a fleshy umbrella. And you can see that it's got several bruises on it and is bleeding, and Ravel seems somewhat panicked in his motions.
Okay, so I try to shine some lavender's lights.
Alright, dexterity save. Oh, that one has his own button. He fails that save and is soul racked. You see him glow slightly with Lathander's light. And you can tell that it's in a serious amount of pain, but is still alive and constricting.
Okay. Okay, I'm done.
Rowan.
Yeah, I'm yelling. That's not something I want to miss. I'm using my action to dash.
Okay.
Oof, I still can't see anything here.
If you go to this, oh sorry, that was my fault. I messed you up.
No, it's okay. That's my movement.
Perfect.
I can't move further.
But you can see the situation now. Well, almost. You can tell that there's movement, and another thing, remember your lantern is hooded, so you can change the amount of light with interacting with the environment for free once per turn. So if you want more light, you can do that. Just let me know.
Can I also now talk to Morgan?
Oh yeah,
Since I'm
of course.
close up.
Yeah.
I'm asking what's going on here. That's my turn.
All right. Round 2. Morgan.
Well, what's happening? Some evil beast is on his head, and let me show you with some light. And I try again to hit the beast.
That will do it. You soul rack it again. You see the thing, finally its tentacle arms along the bottom let loose, flopping uselessly across Ravel's chest, and the thing slides off his head into the floor, and Ravel goes, catching his breath.
Collapsed to his knees.
Okay.
That was the only threat in this cavern, so initiative is over. You guys can move freely.
I look up and say, "What kept you?"
Well,
That thing almost ate my head.
let me try and do something for you. I cast Cure Wounds.
Very good. And in addition to that, you have, being a Lathanderite, you may see your character sheet change. I'm just going to click something for you here. It is Disciple of Life. There we go.
Yeah.
3 extra hit points, so a total of 12 healing.
No, the system added it already.
Oh, did it?
So if you put the mouse over the
you get your wisdom mod regardless. That's just part of Cure Wounds. So that extra thing is yeah, you get the +3 as well. So 12 total.
The +3 is from wisdom or from Disciple of Life?
Both. You have both a +3 from wisdom and a +3 from Disciple of Life.
So it's 12. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. In another game, just by clicking, the system did the math. I don't know why.
Sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't. But
Okay.
yeah, you get your wisdom mod on Cure Wounds, no matter what. I
Yeah,
think.
sure.
It's been a while, but I'm pretty sure that's true.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you did.
Yeah.
I clasp the dwarf on the shoulder and say, "Thank you, my friend. This cliff under my feet all." Uh,
And I found it. Yes, you do get that. There's the wording. 1d8 plus your spellcasting ability modifier.
2 plus the level of spell. Yeah.
Yep, and that as well. Cool, okay. You guys' show. What do you do from here?
Well,
I
I'm
say,
gonna
"Did you
let
find-"
Ravel know that I smashed one evil while he was dancing with the devil.
That's bad.
What I've just done, Maylil was wandering about in the corridor to the south, blind and alone, so she lit a torch. So when you guys move south, you'll see some torchlight.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I asked whether they found out.
Oh, and here we are. Okay.
I'm gonna set my hunting trap here to prevent getting like attacked from behind.
Oh, you do have a hunting trap. That's right. I'll set that
Let's
up for
go
you.
with Outlander.
Yes.
I would like to take a perception check as I enter the room.
There's your hunter trap.
Thanks.
Of course. And Ravel, you said what? You wanted a perception. Okay. You look into the next room. A shallow set of stairs leads up, maybe
I had
5
it on
feet.
the position where I stood.
Sure. Right there. And beyond that, this thing right here, that what you're seeing is a like a portcullis. It's a metal grate instead of a door. It covers the doorway. You see over here a little bit of the cavern wall has broken off, and otherwise it's a blank wall ahead of you. It is quiet ahead.
Do I see any footprints or anything?
Survival for tracking. Well, you could see them with perception. You don't see any visible. Thick layer of dust covers everything.
Was that perception? Survival.
Survival to see what. Well, it's perception. You rolled a 10 and you don't see any tracks. It's too bad about Austin. Hopefully he gets his technical things resolved.
Okay,
say
can I
the-
check for traps?
Yes, that is investigate or perception, your choice.
Perception.
Okay.
I am very perceptive.
Very perceptive. Morgren, using your stone cunning, you look around for more traps. Nothing stands out trap-wise, but you and Rowan scraped and made a noise. Something happened. Ravel was approaching very quietly, but suddenly you hear from the west a lot of squeaking noises as a swarm of bats comes descending out of the ceiling and towards you, scared by the noise or the light or something.
Oh.
So roll initiative. Here come the bats. And let me get my turn counter so I don't lose track. Okay. Morgren, you're first. Go ahead.
I would say
Okay.
the shield went off by now. I guess.
Probably. You're probably right,
Reasonable.
yes. Yeah. Oh, but that Cure Wounds did cost you one more spell slot, so you've got one
Yeah.
left, Morgren.
Yeah. I was counting them. So let's try some Lathander Slide. I like it.
Alright. Dexterity save. That is failed save. And you killed 4 bats.
Then I move in melee and finish my turn. Ooh, that's fine initiative.
My mistake. You actually killed 8 bats with that. Swarms only have resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing. You dealt radiant damage, so it's full damage.
Yeah.
Okay, and here come the rest of the bats towards you, biting you as they pass. Oh, nasty. You guys see Morgren pretty much get engulfed by the entire swarm as it goes by. And they are looking to exit the cave, so they provoke opportunity attacks from all 3 of you, but not before really kind of putting a lot of puncture holes in Morgren.
Okay, can I go with a opportunity attack?
Yes. Very nice.
They have
Critical.
resistance to slashing, piercing, bludgeoning, you said?
That's correct. So he killed, instead of 10 damage, he dealt 5. He killed 5 bats. And Ravel missed, and Rowan missed. Being careful not to hit Morgren, probably. Morgren,
Sure.
I'm going to adjust your hit points for the damage that you took on your red bar.
Okay. Can I do it too?
Of course. I was just getting you updated.
Okay,
If you
yeah.
know how to do it on your end, go right ahead.
Okay.
That's it for the bats. Initiative, and then Rowan.
I'll use my movement to actually step here. And swing at them and hope I can hit something. I can't hit something.
You take a swipe and your sword whistles through the bats, not finding any of them. Morgren, the way that you do add spells is you put your mouse cursor over the token and then you push the number that you want to appear on it, on your keyboard.
I
Okay.
accidentally pressed twice.
That's okay, I
mean,
can
don't
adjust that.
care if 18 or 17.
18 was first, so we'll count that one.
Yeah.
Ravel, go ahead.
My violent fire.
You're breaking up a little bit.
I put my arm, which is covered in violet fire, and unleash a blast of it. Swarm. I've got
I could set you up with a button for Eldritch Blast pretty quick.
that.
Yeah, that one's confusing. What is it? 1d20 plus... There you go. Oh, it worked. Fortunately, that's a miss.
He didn't do a damage roll either.
No. Yeah, I'll have to work on that to get that working with the old system. There's some macros that haven't been transported into this campaign, but I can bring them in later to make that start working again. Okay. Morgren, I see you're trying to get the spell slot thing to work. What you do is, when you click that coin to open that menu with all of your buttons on it, you can click on it to just make one appear. I'm doing it right now. But if you put your mouse over it and then push a number on your keypad, 1 through whatever, yeah, there you go. Very good.
Fine.
Awesome. And Ravel is done. Round 2. Descending. Rowan, go ahead.
Well, let's try that again. Does a
That will
14
hit. Yes. 4. You killed 6 bats. Only 3 remain.
Oops.
Ravel.
Can you count the 5? I accidentally didn't click my token.
Of course.
Yeah. Hang on, unleash another elf.
That will hit. Very good. And don't you add charisma to your damage, or do you not? Oh, that's an unlock, isn't it?
Yeah, it's an invocation.
Yeah. Good enough, though. You guys see that crackling energy arc out of Ravel's arm, slam into the remaining bats, and they flutter to the ground dead.
That's also fast.
You guys can move around freely. That's the end of the initiative, end of that combat.
Fine. They were just rats with wings, by the way. So.
Ravel, you see through a crack in the wall there where it's broken down. It looks like something is standing just inside, but you're having a difficult time seeing what it is.
So I can now move half my speed before rolling stealth again, right? If I want to keep.
Oh, yes. Yeah, with your stealth, yes. All right, Ravel, you're able to see a skeletal warrior standing at attention against the wall. It does not seem, its eye sockets are dark. It does not move. It's just standing there. It looks like an old warrior at attention, died in place.
Hit with staff.
Yeah, you can try to hit it. All right, you whack at one. They are vulnerable to bludgeoning, which means you nearly crackle it to bits. And it animates, of course. Its blank eye sockets have a red light slowly glowing until they become burning red embers. And they move to attack on their initiative.
With the end of the bonus action?
Yeah, go ahead and hit him with the other end as well if you want.
I'd stumble back as its eyes glow red.
Cool. I've got my turn counter, and we are ready with Morgren going first. You see Ravel backpedaling into the chamber you are in. He seems to have been attacking something through that broken down part of the wall.
Okay. I move here. And then this.
Morgren steps into the room and very easily, again they're vulnerable to bludgeoning, so that was actually 12 damage. And you smash what's left of the skeleton into little bits. All the bones go clattering to the floor.
Okay, that was evil.
Ominously, you guys can hear from further inside the chambers kind of a rasping breath and the pop and click of bones. I forget who it was that we were talking about Skyrim, but you remember the Draugr. It's like that.
Yeah.
The White Walker. It's so heavily plagiarized Game of Thrones.
Yeah, it was. So Morgan, you still have a little movement left if you want to use it, and you were still in initiative because you can hear further threats moving
Okay.
this
I will
direction.
move to here, and my turn
Okay.
with a new one.
Ravel. James, you with us?
Yep. Can you not hear me?
There, I hear you now. It's your turn. Go ahead.
Yep. Yeah. I just moved up
Okay.
to there. And 2 seconds.
Yeah. Open the sliding window.
Alright. See that? Sorry about that.
It's all right. There, we've seen you move. I think there was a delay there.
Yep. So I will attack. Take it. It's got cover.
Yeah, he's got 3/4 cover, so that's plus 5 AC.
Okay. I'll do it.
Oh.
Now you can see him clearly.
Yeah. I've got the red bar of death.
Yeah, we saw you had a little bit of connection issue, but I think it's resolving now. All right, you tripped over a loose rock on the floor or clipped your shoulder as you tried to shimmy into that very narrow opening, and anyway got tangled up with your quarterstaff. But the butt end comes around, you jam it directly into an eye socket just as it's starting to glow, dealing a lot of damage. You crack the skull open, but it's still moving.
Okay.
Oh wait, that was a critical hit. My bad. That kills him. It was critical.
Mm-hmm.
He is dead. My bad.
Cool. And that ends my turn. Camera.
All right, the skeletons finally get a turn. This one rasping its, an old ancient breath out of its rattling rib cage, and lurches forward with a short sword to try and stab Ravel, and does so. Skewers him badly. And that's not the only one. Another one approaches from this side. They are now flanking Ravel. Unintentionally, just worked out that way, but he has advantage for flanking, which also hits and skewers him from the other side. Ravel has taken quite a lot of damage, but he's still on his feet. I don't remember which skeleton was my initiative holder, so we've got a new one. Rowan, go ahead.
I'm totally unaware of the situation, so I'm gonna yell at my party, what's going on up there? And try to find my way through it.
You can see the back of a skeleton here as he pulls a bloodied, rusted short sword out of the body of Ravel here, and is getting ready to stab him again.
Oh. Yeah. I moved 25 feet, that's within my speed, and I'm gonna take a hit at him. My greatsword.
I do house rule in flanking, so if you were to move to this square, you would be flanking with Ravel, giving you advantage if you want to do that instead. Do a quick little...
Yeah, since
Yeah,
I can move
that's
to
what we
5
meant to
feet,
do.
I'm doing it.
Fantastic. So yeah, flanking is kind of a house rule. It's in the book. We include it.
Yeah.
You definitely hit. You see the bones rattle, dust falling from them, but that skeleton is still, the magic binding it is still intact, if only barely.
That's my turn.
Round 2. Skeleton's got a back-to-back. That is not good for Ravel. Let's start on the one in the back. Stab again. That will hit, which I think takes Ravel down. And then this one will turn to engage you, Rowan. Attempt to stab you. It does so. Glancing blow.
That's 4 damage.
Alright, and Ravel is going to need to start making death saves and has that on him. The skeletons are done. Redo initiative, and Ravel, go ahead. Ravel is bleeding badly and slips closer to death. Go ahead and do another initiative, and then it'll be Morgren's turn. Go ahead, Morgren.
Okay. She'll take this position and then do a melee attack. Here it is.
A fine hit. You shattered the skeleton and it drops to the floor as a pile of bones and rusted equipment.
Okay. And I'm done.
Rowan.
I'm moving here. Gonna just push Ravel
Yeah, Ravel
to
is...
the back.
So you can stand over him because he's currently prone and bleeding out.
Okay. And take a hit at this dude here. Do I have something bludgeoning? Just my unarmed. Does a 12 hit?
Oh, let me check. I'm not sure. It does not. The scraps of armor have deflected your blow.
Then I'm using the rest of my movement. I moved 10 feet. I'll move another 10 feet here.
Good thinking.
And that's my turn.
Round 3. Ravel.
Oh,
Death save.
yeah, I've just realised I've been missing part of my feet. I should be getting an opportunity attack from people.
Yeah, when they enter your reach. I forgot about that too. I've never seen anybody use the polearm master. Or if I did, it's been a while. Alright, Ravel sucks in a breath and is back among the living with a hit point. I'll take that death save token off of you as well. Alright. Don't remember on that. So the skeleton will ignore. Ravel doesn't know what's happening there. Will turn to engage Rowan. Attempts to stab you and does so, impaling you with a rusty short sword. And initiative for him. Morgan, go ahead.
Okay. I would go here. And then here.
That wasn't a crit, right? No.
No.
Or was it? No, he rolled a 19, okay.
Yes.
And use Q wounds on Ravel.
Very good.
Plus 3.
Plus 3 is 12 again.
And then I end my turn.
Rowan.
Since he's not doing death saves anymore, he's not incapacitated, right?
Correct.
So I'm getting advantage. And the 25 will hit.
Yes. A good hit. You've cleaved the one of the skeleton's arms off and crushed its rib cage, but it's still barely moving. It has 1 hit point left.
You know.
Yeah, that's my turn.
Round 4, Morgren.
Again. Okay. Now it will be a sacred flame.
Very good. Dexterity save. Wow, that is a very fast skeleton. Perhaps you were aiming for the part that Rowan just cleaved from him. Does not hit.
Probably.
The skeleton made a backflip.
Sure. Alright. Anything else from Morgren?
Nope, I'm done.
Alright. Ravel?
Ravel jumps to his ghostly tail, lashing about him.
From the floor, Ravel sticks his quarterstaff through what's left of the skeleton, shattering its spinal cord and the last of the magics binding it together. It falls to the floor, a pile of dust and bones. No further threats at this moment.
I again turn to the dwarf. I thank you for saving my life again, Master Dwarf.
Don't worry. By the way, we had our share of evil, and fine. That's what I came for.
Guys, we should recover.
Yeah.
I think you check the rest of these antechambers. They could provide adequate to rest.
Does the priest have some group healing? Because I'm not looking good either.
No, Lathander's pretty tired about now. No more spells from me.
What your Priest of Lathander does have is this one. It's Channel Divinity.
Yeah.
You don't have to use it, and it really won't help in this situation.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm sure you already knew about that.
Do I need to keep track of the XP? Or?
No, you don't need to worry about that. It's mostly for
Okay.
Ravel. And actually,
You
I
just
forgot
hold
to.
it for yourself.
I'm just keeping track.
Okay.
So, what can we do?
I would search the skeletons while we were deciding.
Okay. Defiling the dead. Okay.
All right, so you guys look over the skeleton, what's left of them, their corpses. They're made of, let's see, give me a nature or heal check to know more about them. Any of you can roll that. They had nothing of value. They carried rusty short swords and scraps of armor. And you can tell by the fine structure of the bones and skull that these were once elves.
At this discovery, Ravel becomes excited.
Any valuables on them?
They carried
Or
nothing of
useful.
value aside from their equipment.
When Rand discovers that they were elves, he becomes excited and says, maybe the legends were more than just children's stories. Fallen elven temple could be the truth.
What you guys
Well,
can
It
do,
wasn't elf.
you guys can take a short rest, and that lets you spend your hit die if you want to recover your hit points.
And we can do it away from here. Maybe at the entrance.
Well, a
Yes.
short rest is just 10 minutes, right?
It depends on your DM. A short rest for me, yeah, I would say 10 minutes. I think according to the rules it's an hour, but it's kind of up to the pace of the party. I'd say 10 minutes to catch your breath, bind your wounds, and then you're ready to go again.
And what about the
I
spell
would
slot?
like.
Unfortunately for clerics, those are your spells for the entire day.
Yeah, and would need a long rest. Yeah.
Correct.
I would like to take a short rest.
Better than nothing.
So we're going to take a short rest.
Okay. And can we do it on turns, just to guard and things like that?
Right. We'll only be 10 minutes. We should be right.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
it's not like we're sleeping. We're still aware of things.
Okay.
Do I have to decide how many hit die I spend before I see the rolls?
No, you just spend them one at a time. So you just roll for the one that you want to spend, and then you decide if you want to spend another.
Okay. Oh, level 3.
You can also click on the word hit die.
That's one thing about that character sheet that throws me is I have to click the word to make it roll. But yeah, if you click hit die, it will roll it for you with your con mod installed. Because it's not just 3 for
Okay.
you, Morgren. You have a considerable constitution, so you also gain 3 plus 3 is 6.
Ah, okay. Nice. Okay.
And then just -1 off the blue bar. Those are your hit die. Unless you spend both of them.
Oh, the blue bar is actually doing it itself when I do it in the sheet.
Yes, I have it tied to the sheet as far as those go, so it should work out. The green bar was a little tricky. I'll see if I can
So-
find out where to put that.
Yeah, can you do that with a rage too? That would be cool.
I'd have to dig for it to try and find it. I'll see if I can get that sorted out
Yeah, because I'm,
next time.
I like doing it in the sheet.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. I'll see if I can figure that out for next time. So we got about a half hour left if you guys want to resolve this adventure. Continue up to the final chamber. You see another grate here, kind of like a prison cell door, if you will, portcullis. And behind it is standing an individual that you can see through. He's translucent. Looks like this. He is elven. He is wearing armor, has a shield and a sword, and he is standing there impassively, staring ahead.
Hmm.
I would. Can I bestow my Hexblade's curse upon him before we enter combat?
Okay. Oh, that's the one you can just
So,
transfer that, or do you have to recast it?
No, it's I've lost Hex. It's Hexblade's curse.
That's right. Different thing. That's right. Okay, and you've got that tracked. No problem. All right. It does not react to you guys' approach.
Ah. Well,
Yeah.
I'm
Rowan,
trying
can
to
you lift-
communicate with him. Did I actually?
I
Oh,
asked
yes,
Rowan if she.
I speak Elvish. I'm trying to communicate with him in Elvish. And just say hello and what he's doing here.
You see the apparition's mouth opens, but its mouth does not move to form words, but a voice does come emanating. Seems like it's coming from a long way away, and it says, "The way is shut, and the dead keep it."
That doesn't
I
sound
asked,
pleasant, guys.
I asked Rowan if she is strong enough to lift the portcullis.
oh,
To lift what?
To lift the portcullis,
The door.
the great.
Let me see. I guess I am.
With a loud shriek and metallic grating, here's the sound. That was as close as I could get.
well.
The spirit shimmers one final time. It intones in another hollow voice, "You have been warned," and then it disappears. And the door is open.
Well, at least it won't us.
Out. Altar.
You guys enter the chamber. You can see that there are 4 pillars going from the floor to the ceiling, and in the center is a kind of a raised platform with a large coffin made of stone sitting on top of it.
I searched the coffin for any traps.
Okay, you can do perception or investigate.
I've already rolled my perception.
Oh yeah, I see it. You can see that it's covered in some kind of writing, but you do not find any traps.
I am literate, but I try and hide the facts, so I pretend to study the runes before turning to the dwarf and saying, "So, what do you make?" Pointing at the writing.
Well, let's see.
Ah. Let's see. Morgan, do you know Elven?
I have a spell.
You do.
of
You do know
con-
Elvish.
Okay.
And I forgot, you do have that spell as well. Either way, you're able to read the runes, and they are runes of warning. They are written in Elvish, and they say, "An ancient evil slumbers here. Those who disturb it do so at their own risk," kind of thing. They're sigils of warding. And you guys can, let's see, you can make an Arcana check, or with your history you could tell the wards have expired. If there were magical traps or wards guarding this thing, they are no longer intact.
Well, it seems we found our evil.
I jam my try and jam my pole under the lid, my staff under the lid of the coffin, and try and lever it.
All right, athletics check.
I lend a hand.
Okay. You can also make an athletics check, and we'll see how the two of you do. Rowan, you're having trouble finding a place to, like, a finger hold to get hold of it. Ravel, you're able to kind of lever a little bit with your staff, but it still does not budge. You guys are going to have to put more effort into it or come up with another plan.
I shout for Morrigan.
Yeah.
Standing there, dwarf. I thought you wanted to kill this evil. Help us expose it.
Okay.
Let's try this again, guys.
Let's
On
do
on
this.
on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Excellent. So you guys lift just a little bit. Ravel is able to slip his quarterstaff underneath and finally get the lever action going. And no sooner than you guys shove the lid off and to one side, a huge gout of dust and wind billows up and out of the coffin, and immediately standing before you is a large skeleton clad in plate armor with a
Oh.
crown.
With a crown too.
And you can hear in your heads, it's not out of your ears, but in your heads you hear, "Who dares awaken me?" And you can tell that hostile intent is evident. Oh, and he rolls a 2 initiative. Go ahead and roll initiative.
You didn't click your character.
Yeah.
There we go. Cool. Give me a turn counter and sort. Rowan, you're the fastest.
I'm gonna use my bonus action to rage. So using my movement to move here.
Where the dice travel.
Take a swing at it. With an 18 to hit, maybe?
I believe that will hit. Let me check. What is his AC? Oh, yes, that hits. His plate
What's
armor
the
is
damage?
very much not intact. Most of it's rusted and easily punctured. Yes, 10 damage. A good hit.
I forgot. It's my turn.
Morgren.
Okay. I will try the straightforward solution. Oh.
Wow. Okay. I
Nice.
said skeletons are vulnerable to bludgeoning, so that's 24 damage. Drop the hammer, crushing his rib cage. Pieces of armor go flying off of him. That was a hell of a good hit.
And I'm done.
Wow. Morgren finally found his calling. Ravel.
Ravel steps in, unleashes 2 sharp strikes.
That one misses. That one hits. A good hit.
Is that 14 for bludgeoning?
That's right. 14 total.
That's what. Yeah, that's it.
All right.
Hmm.
It's going to. It turns to you, Morgren. You can tell the glowing red embers in its eye sockets flare when they look at you, and they say it says something to the effect of the hated light must be extinguished, and it's going to. I don't remember if this is a bonus. I think spiritual weapon's a bonus action, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is going to cast. Actually, he's going to. Yeah, he's going to cast Spiritual Weapon first on Morgren, using his 2nd level spell slot, of course. And he got a critical hit on you. 25, and on a hit, force damage equal to 10 plus 4 on a crit is 14 force damage. And that's one of his 2nd level spells, and his deity's preferred weapon was an axe. So here is his spiritual axe. Shrink that down a bit. Actually, let's do one that we can actually see. There we go. Spirit weapon. Okay. And then for his action, he whirls around with a great sword and attempts to slash you with it as well, Morgren. Undead hate clerics. It's not a crit, fortunately, but it does hit. I think Morgren cannot withstand that, and that actually takes him down. Reroll initiative. He didn't do any better. Round 2. Morgren, let me finish putting all the tokens. You've got an X, you are prone, and you are bleeding out. So roll a death save for your turn. That's just a simple D20 roll.
Okay.
If you get, I think it's 10 or higher, nothing happens. A 1 through 9, you're bleeding and slip 1 step closer to death. If you get 3 of those failures, you have expired. Okay, you can roll your initiative, and Ravel, go ahead.
Okay.
Turn the music down another notch. Okay, that hits. 8 damage. That does not hit.
Jump back. Step back.
Okay, that provokes. He will swipe at you. Ouch. Nasty gash across Ravel's shoulder as he tries to exit the reach of the ancient evil. And is that it for Ravel?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
No problem. Rowan, go ahead.
I'm gonna attack recklessly.
Awesome. Yeah, let's get your tokens on. You are raging and reckless. Fantastic. So that's 16. That is enough. You bring your great sword around, smashing it into the center mass of the ancient evil, shattering the rest of its rib cage. The whole thing collapses into a pile of bones and dust. Its crown rolls to a stop at your feet, and the whole tomb goes quiet.
I'm trying to fix Morgren.
That's a heal check. And if you get a
Medicine, right?
medicine. Yep, and that's good enough. You've stabilized Morgren. He will no longer bleed out.
That's something.
Very good.
Now I'm looking at the crown. Might be something valuable.
It
Or
looks
something
like
magic infused.
indeed.
I'm gonna try and put it on.
That's probably smart. The crown is made of gold and it is bejeweled, so you could guess it's probably worth quite a lot of gold. And Ravel, you noticed that one of the hands that was holding the sword had a ring on it, a very shiny ring.
I pull out a dagger and cut the finger away with the ring.
All right. So shiny ring made of silver, and it has a blue stone set in it.
Okay, can I wake up and...
Yes, you have 1 hit
Ah.
point now.
Ooh.
I searched the sarcophagus for I might have missed.
You find several small statues made of gold inside the sarcophagus. Whoops. My mistake.
Can I make like insight or something to see if I know something about the crown?
Yes,
Find
you
out
can. If you want to know, you can make a history check to know more about it. And you guys find 11 gold worth of small statues and jewels inside the sarcophagus.
Can I have advantage on my history roll as I know? As I know. Legend.
Yes. You've heard the legends. There have been legends all throughout Cormyr about the vast swamp and how there was an ancient elven civilization here long before the Cormyr Empire. And so dotting the lands are these old tombs. I don't know if you guys have played Morrowind, Oblivion, where they had the Aesir or something like that tombs. They were the ancient elven tombs. That's kind of the idea. And so the crown itself is an ancient king. He was an evil king, apparently, but was buried with his golden regalia all the same. But you guys have dispatched that ancient evil and laid claim to the gold and loot down here.
Is this gold shared?
Yeah, normally it would be. So like if we were, if you guys end up playing again next weekend, yeah, we could, let's see, how much would that crown be worth? I would say it'd be worth at least 500, so let's split that 3 ways. You guys get 167 gold each out of that crown. And Ravel, your ring, make an Arcana check on that.
Can I make Arcana with charisma?
Yeah. For this one. Okay. You can tell that the ring is magic. There's something magic about it, but you're not sure what.
I say we should investigate. We should have someone investigate. I think it possesses powers beyond the ordinary.
Cool. All right, guys, that pretty well concludes the adventure. You would return to town with your gains. You would probably sell the crown for actual money, find someone who can identify the ring. We may do that next time. But that resolves this adventure.
Did you say we found some gold statues as well?
Yeah, there was 11 gold there. Just everybody take 11 gold on that. 1 statue each. And that guy was actually worth 700 XP.
That's a level up.
Yeah, so that's 233 plus the, what did you have before? 150 even each.
It's level 3 is around 900 XP, right?
That's correct. So you'd be at 683 because level 2 was 300. So you'd be closing in on level 3 already.
Well, weren't we already level 2?
You were level 2 and that's 300 XP. So then with this 383 is 683. 683, whoops, 900 minus 683. You're 217 experience away from level 3.
And the 150 before? You
Yeah,
added that as well?
that's all included, yeah.
Ah, okay.
Very well.
Cool. I hope you guys had a good time.
Yeah.
It's good to play again.
Yeah.
And if you guys
Well,
did
I
have
was-
fun, we may hang out again next weekend and play again.
You looking
Yeah,
at
I
you
hope.
thinking about the same time next weekend, Ben?
Yeah, it'll be about the same time next weekend, most likely.
This works perfect. You
Cool.
can even get. It's only 11 o'clock at night. Normally I'm up until 4 a.m. with you.
Well, yeah, I used to work nights, so now I'm on the day schedule now. It's a little easier.
Yeah.
Okay. I was wondering if I could use, my dwarven clerics with my background and.
You
if
mean make
that's
your,
okay.
your own dwarf cleric? Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's pretty the same, but
Yeah,
I
you'll
have
want to
my
make some changes.
token and everything.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, we'll talk about that through the week. You guys have the Discord, and so we'll chat that way, or here on the board is fine too.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I'm going to end the broadcast there. Thanks for playing.
Can we just
Thank
go
you.
shopping as normal and
Yeah, of course.
tell you what we bought?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for guiding us.